boleh.
Countdown.
Tahniah. Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber Malaysia. Sebuah inisiatif e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Halo. Salam sejahtera kepada semua guru, ibu bapa dan belajar-belajar sekalian. Selamat datang ke Pusat Tuisyen Akademi YouTuber dengan usaha sama dengan e-didik Malaysia dan juga Kelab Guru. Mula percuma, selamanya percuma. Cikgu memperkenalkan diri dulu. Nama cikgu Kok dari SMK Tinggi Sendiri Melaka selaku sebagai moderator pada petang ini. Hari ini kita bersiaran secara langsung daripada channel Mr. P. Siapa yang masih belum subscribe, silakan tekan butang subscribe sebagai tanda sokongan kepada Mr. P. Hari ini kita akan teruskan dengan apa yang Mr. P akan ajar. Sebelum kami nak teruskan, kami nak memperkenalkan Mr. P dulu. Mr. P biasa belajar dah biasa kan, kerana ulang-ulang setiap Ahad dia akan buat ulang gaji dengan belajar. Mr. P adalah dari sama dengan kampung saya iaitu Melaka juga. SMK Tinggi Cina Melaka. Selaku presenter pada hari ini. Kat konting kami juga bersama dengan Cikgu Hasnita. Daripada SMK Bakan Jaya Butterworth Pulau Pinang selaku sebagai control host. Kita akan buat ulang gaji lah. Teruskan ulang gaji untuk pelajar yang 2021 tahun punya, iaitu untuk belajar tingkatan 5 dan juga tingkatan 4 pun boleh teruskan dengan ulang gaji hari ini. Kelas ini akan berlangsung selama kurang 1 jam. Sebelum kita nak teruskan kelas ni, cikgu ingatkan semua pelajar dan juga penonton yang ingin menghantar komen, sila gunakan bahasa dan yang sopan dan juga gambar profil yang bersesuaian untuk tontonan umum. Link e-sijil akan diberi di hujung siaran. Link e-sijil dapat diisi dengan email e-didik, MOE di email MyGuru dan juga email jarvi@edu.my. Kod di sepanjang kelas untuk pelajar tebuskan mata kredit AYU. Link rekod kredit pelajar juga akan diberikan di hujung siaran nanti. Tunggu sekejap dulu biar habis kami baru bagikan. Sila fokuskan isi pelajaran yang akan disampaikan oleh Cikgu Mr. P. Semoga kelas kita pada petang ini dapat dimanfaatkan sepenuhnya oleh para pelajar. Baiklah, sebelum Mr. P nak mulakan ulang gaji hari ini, biar cikgu berikan kod yang pertama dulu. Kod yang pertama ialah A1. A1. Dengan ni cikgu serahkan kelas ni kepada Mr. P. Dipersilakan Mr. P.
Selamat petang kepada semua. Thank you Cikgu Kok. So minggu ini saya lah present lagi untuk kamu semua. Tivish, good evening. Lama tak jumpa. So cikgu nak beritahu dulu. So kelas tuition percuma, visit SPM AYU ini. Untuk tingkatan 5 diadakan pada setiap Jumaat 9:30 malam. Manakala untuk tingkatan 4 iaitu seperti kelas petang ini, okey, akan diadakan seperti biasa, okey, hari Ahad pukul 2. So ini merupakan panitia fizik SPM, okey, Akademik YouTuber Malaysia. So hari ini bersama Cikgu P di sini ada Cikgu Hastita dan Cikgu Kok, okey. So terima kasih kepada cikgu-cikgu ini, okey, yang sedia membantu pada petang ini. Okey, so saya Mr. P juga boleh dikenali sebagai Cikgu P kan, okey. So saya dari SMJK Tinggi Cina Melaka, okey, sekampung dengan Cikgu Kok, okey. So cikgu akan sambungkan juga, okey, ulang kaji peperiksaan penggal akhir untuk tingkatan 4. Okey, ini sudah masuk siri ke-5. Okey, so marilah kita belajar petang ini. Okey, so saya sudah banyak kali sebenarnya bersama Cikgu Hasita, okey, kenalkan format-format, okey, SPM fizik yang format terbaru, okey. So hari ini Cikgu juga, okey, seperti biasa kenalkan dulu, okey. Mana tahu ada sesiapa yang masih tidak, okey, pasti, so bolehlah, okey, kita kenalkan bersama format terbaru ini. So keseluruhan untuk paper 1 objektif terdiri daripada 40 soalan. So tempoh peperiksaan berkenaan adalah 1 jam 30 minit. Okay, then item yang akan diuji di sini ada 2 jenis, okay, iaitu objektif aneka pilihan merupakan, okay, soalan yang paling banyak akan diuji, okay, iaitu terdiri daripada 37 hingga 39. Dan satu jenis lagi adalah objektif aneka gabungan. Okay, marilah kita bersama tengok apa dia objektif aneka pilihan dan objektif aneka gabungan. Okay, so this is the first question. Okay, I take the question from trial SPN from Sarawak. Okay, so this is the question number 2 regarding the chapter form 4, chapter 1, section 1.2. Okay, so let us go through the question together. So diagram 2 shows situation in a background. Okay, so you can see. So this is actually the picture from Form 4 textbook, okay? So what is a suitable manipulated variable and responding variable? Okay, let us see together the conversation between the three of the person, okay? Okay, so initially the Malay lady said that, okay, there is two swinging at different speed. So we can see this is a different speed. Okay, so another lady asked, what is the reason? And the man said, let us carry out a scientific investigation. Okay. So according to the answer, okay, 4 options here, okay, so we have to choose the suitable manipulated variable, okay, which is related to the observation. So we can see that, okay, here there is a different length of the swings, okay, so that the speed, okay, for the swinging of the swing is different. Okay, so we have known that the manipulated variable actually is one of the factor, okay, we are tested and changed before the experiment. Okay, after that, we will observe or measure, okay, the responding variable. So there is a response to the change of the independence variable. So the independence variable here is actually manipulated variable. Okay, so for this situation, there is actually experiment we are already did, okay, in Form 1, Chapter 1, okay, is the pendulum. This is the relationship between the length of the pendulum, okay, yeah, okay, so the pendulum and time taken of one oscillation, okay, so this is the experiment we did, okay, so from here, so the reason, okay, here is actually asking about the manipulated variable. So you can see from the figure, there is the different length, okay, and causes what the observation from the Malay lady, okay. So the Malay lady see that the speed is change. So why the speed is different? Okay, because the time oscillation, okay, for the swing is different. Okay, so from here we are quite clear that the manipulated variable will be length of pendulum, and the responding will be period of oscillation. Okay, so TBH very good. Okay, so the answer is B. Okay, so thank you for your response. Okay, we go to the next question. Okay, so question number 2, also from the trial SPM Sarawak. Okay, is from question number 8. Is a question from the chapter 3, section 3.2. Okay, it's capital law. Okay, so from diagram, what is the conclusion can you make? Okay, so the conclusion here is actually we need to give a relationship, okay, between the manipulated variable and responding variable here. Okay, so what is the manipulated variable here? Okay, so you can look at the picture. Okay, so we can see there is about 5 different planet. Okay, revolves, okay, around the sun, okay, with different orbit. Okay, so that to complete one revolution, okay, around the sun, they're taking the different time. Okay, so from here we can see that, okay, we need to find out the manipulated variable here. Okay, is actually the orbit size or the radius of orbit. Okay, and the another one you can see, we observe what we can observe from this picture. We can see the orbital period is different. It's due to the orbital size different. Okay, so let us go through all the answer here, which is the best answer. Okay, so DVH give the answer B. Okay, so we see together whether the answer is correct. So for the first one, radius of the orbit is directly proportional to the orbital period of planet. Okay, so you can see as the radians, okay, increase, so the orbital period increase. So seem like the answer A like correct. So is it correct? We go through the next others option. Okay, so we look at the second one. B, the square of radians of orbit is directly proportional. Okay, so that means here the radians, okay, is square directly proportional to period. Okay, so actually we learn the Kepler third law, which is the law of period. So what is the relationship here? Actually, is the period is square. Square of the period, orbital period, is directly proportional to the to the radius of orbit. Okay, so I think the TVH maybe is reversed already, right, for the formula. So the B actually not correct. Okay, so we go to the option C, the greater the size of planet. Okay, so here we not study the size of the planet, so the answer for C is out already. So for D, the cube of the radians. Okay, so here you can see the radians cube. Okay, is directly proportional to the square of the orbital period. Okay, so the DVH answer should be D. Okay. Okay, so this is question number 2. Okay, so there is a trap there. Okay, so you have to memorize the formula. Okay, we're not sure that the formula is listed in the question or not. Okay. Okay, so Cikgu Rina, okay, selamat datang. Okay, welcome support saya. Okay. Okay, so the next question is also regarding the objective aneka pilihan. Okay, so it's from chapter 2. Okay, so let us read the question together. Okay, so displacement against, okay, against the time, okay, graph show an oscillation of the loaded jigsaw blade in A. Okay, so what is the graph likely be if the oscillation, okay, oscillated is carried out at the moon? Okay, so you can see, so the keyword here, okay, so this is the option. Okay, so you have to choose if let's say the experiment, okay, conducted on the moon, is it we get different graph. Okay, so the keyword here is actually, okay, So the oscillation of the loaded jigsaw blade. So this is one of the experiment, compulsory experiment you have already did, okay, in your chapter 2 from 4, okay. So this is the study between the relationship between the mass and the inertia. So from the experiment, we know that, okay, the higher the mass, okay, the higher the inertia. So the inertia showing at the time taken, okay, showing at the time taken here. Okay, so now the graph showing the displacement. So where is the displacement? So the displacement actually is the oscillation angle. So the length between the angle. Okay, so this is the amplitude. Okay, and the t here is actually the time taken. Okay, so is it the amplitude and the time taken, okay, will be different or same, okay, when this experiment we conduct in the moon? Okay, so any idea? Okay, students, you can respond at the chat room there. Okay, so this is the first we need to know. Okay, so the oscillation is actually depends on the mass. The second, okay, so as I mentioned that, so this is a graph if we conducting the experiment on Earth. Okay, so now the second one is the experiment is changed to moon. So what is the result we get? So the amplitude will change or remain the same. Okay, so this is different between the moon and the Earth. So the G here is actually the gravitational acceleration. So that means the force of gravity is different between the Earth and the moon. Okay, so the second concept here we're using, okay, TVH given B. Okay, let us see, is it the correct answer? Okay, okay, so you can see the second concept you have to apply in this question is the concept between mass and the weight. So we know that the mass is actually independence to the gravitational force. So that means the mass at the moon and Earth is the same. Okay, Shane's answer already A. Okay, so we see, is it correct? Okay, so division. Okay, so actually the mass is not changed. Okay, when the experiment, okay, we bring out the plasticine here, right? Okay, to the moon. So that means the mainly changes is actually the weight, because the formula weight is m multiplied by g. So the g is different, okay, 6 times lower at the moon compared to the Earth. So that means the mass is actually unchanged. Okay, since the inertia is depends on the mass, and the mass is not changed at the moon. So overall, the amplitude will be also remain the same. Okay, so the answer is A. Okay, good. Okay, debate is correct. Okay, so these is two theory you have to apply in this question. Okay. Okay, so the next question, number 4, okay, is example of a question regarding the objective aneka gabungan. Okay, is a question from chapter number 6, okay, 6.3. Okay, so let us go through the question together first. Okay, diagram below show an object standing in front of the convex lens. So here is a convex lens. Okay, so the object is placed between two F and F. So what is the following? Which of the following are the characteristic of the image form? Okay, so from here, okay, we know already. So different position, okay, so will be have different uh character of image. So here we study the object where placed between the two F and F. F is a focal length, okay, of the convex lens. Okay, so what we can see, so we'll get the image which is magnified, rear, inverted. Okay, so this one you have to memorize. Okay, okay, so the answer here will be 2 and 3. So will be C. Okay. Okay, so next, okay, we go to our discussion about the paper 2. Okay, so total we have 11 questions, okay, classified to 3 sections ABC. So there are 8 questions you have to answer, okay, in section A. Okay, so mainly all question were asking about the question regarding knowledge, understanding, and calculation. Okay, so the mainly different here is question number 5. We have question regarding conception. Okay, and the conception criteria will also ask at question number 11, which is at section C. Okay, and then the question number 5 and number 6, normally you're asking almost same criteria, okay? And the question number 7 will ask you, besides the knowledge and calculation, will be modification, okay? This type of question will also, okay, ask you at question number 11 also, okay? And then question number 8 at section A is decision making, okay, which is also same as the section B, okay? You can see the wording is highlight with purple color, okay? So today, okay, I will go through together with you, okay, the question number 5, number 8 at section A, and one of the question at section B, and one question at section C, okay? So for section B, again, okay, you can write or you can answer both questions, and the highest mark will be calculate at the final at your final mark, okay? And the section C is only one question and is compulsory to answer. Okay, so this is a question I also take out from Trial SPM, okay, Sarawak 2021, okay, so it's from question number 5. So it's mainly asking the question regarding conception. Okay, so let us
Mr.
read
Pei, can I give the second code?
Yes, no problem.
Okay, kod yang kedua iaitu 6. Okay, 6. Okay, dipersilakan Mr. Pei.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Pongkok. Okay, so diagram 5.1 shows a pattern, okay, away from a river tank. Okay, so from river tank, okay. So name the phenomenon shown in the diagram 5.1. So diagram 5.1 will be here. Okay, so what is the phenomenon? Okay, so here you can see, okay, the water is spreading, okay, after propagating through a gap. So this is a gap. Okay, so you can see the wave, the shape, okay, is changes. Okay, so this type of the phenomenon we know as diffraction. Okay, so this is called diffraction. Okay, so the second B, okay, you can see name one physical quantities that change after the wave, okay, passing through the slit. Okay, so what is the quantity physics change here? Okay, so amplitude, okay, so let us see together whether it's correct or not. Okay, so TBH, okay. Okay, so this is changes, okay, five characteristics we will be study, okay, in diffraction. Okay, so you can see what is the changes here. So the wavelength, okay, you can see before propagate through the gate and after, so the wavelength is remain the same. Okay, and the second, the frequency and the wavelength relationship is inversely proportional to each other. Okay, so since the wavelength is unchanged, so the frequency also no change. Okay, so the next one, the speed is also not changed because the frequency and the wavelength, okay, is remain constant here. Okay, so the main difference here, okay, you can see the amplitude is decreased, so the debate is correct already. Okay, so initially, okay, before the diffraction occur, so the amplitude of the wave is bigger. Okay, after pass through the gate, so the amplitude will become slower. Okay, so because the energy already reduced. Okay, so the another changes here. Okay, so it's the direction. So the direction is from one direction, okay, change to more than one direction. Okay, so that you can see the shape, okay, of the wave before pass through the gate is plane. Okay, after that passing through the gate change to circular. Okay, so these two is the changes, okay, occur in the direction, okay, but okay, this is two changes, okay, but if let's say you mention direction or propagation, although this is the changes, okay, in the situation of direction, but this is rejected because the quantity physics here, okay, referring to the quantity that can be measured, okay. So Divesh, luckily you mentioned amplitude. Let's say you mention the direction of the propagation will be incorrect because the direction is not able to measure, okay. So the answer here will be amplitude and energy, okay. So very good, okay, Divesh, correct. So the next question. Okay, so based on the diagram 5.1 and 5.2, okay, so comparing the size slit, okay, size of the slit, so that means actually is the gap lah, huh? So from here, we are very clear, okay, it's actually very obvious. You can see the 5.1, the size of the slit is bigger, okay, than 5.2. Okay, so diagram 5.1 is greater than 5.2. Okay, you can use the mathematical symbol here. So the another one, number 2, okay, shape of the wave after passing through the slit. Okay, so you can see the box, yellow box here. Okay, so here you can see the shape is not same, right? Okay, so 5.2 showing more circular. Okay, so here you have to mention diagram 5.2 more circular, okay, or curvier. Okay, you can use the curvier here, okay, melengkung, okay, compared to diagram 5.1. Okay, C3, okay, state the relationship between the size of the slit, okay, and the shape of the wave. So from here, you can choose one of the diagram. For example, if I say I choose the diagram 5.2, we can see that as the size of the slit, okay, decrease, so the shape of the wave after passing through the gate or slit here, okay, will become more curvier or more circular. Okay, so you can write as the smaller the size of slit, the more circular the shape of the wave. Okay, so if I say you're using the diagram 5.1, you can write as the bigger the size of slit, the less circular the shape of the wave. Okay, you can mention like this, okay. So hopefully you can get full mark for this type of question conception. Okay, you just need to observe the diagram. Okay, so question number D. Okay, so diagram 5.3 shows the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so here the D1, okay, asks you to state the electromagnetic wave P. So what is the type of wave here? Okay, so from this figure, okay, you can see, so the P is actually between gamma and UV ray, right? Okay, so from here, that is very clear, is X-ray, okay, is X-ray, yeah. So the answer here is X-ray. So number 2, the usage of the wave P. So X-ray can apply in which field? Okay, so from this figure you can see is able to detect the bond fracture here. Okay, so this is the first. Second, okay, you can look at the picture. So this is the scanning luggage at airport. Okay, so by using X-ray, and another one, okay, you can see here. Okay, so you can see the painting below there got one X-ray tube. Okay, because you want to check the authenticity, okay, of the painting. Okay, so this is 3 answer you can mention in your answer lah. Okay, so 1 mark. Okay, actually you only need to mention 1 answer. Okay. Okay, so question number 3 is calculation. Okay, so calculate the wavelength of infrared, which has the frequency, okay, frequency 2 times 10 power 13 hertz, okay, and the speed of the microwave given is 3 times 10 power 8 which is the speed of the light. Okay, so 2 marks here. So how we can get 2 marks? So firstly, for this type of question, okay, so we have to take out what is the information given. Okay, so the lambda, okay, representing the sorry, let me see. Okay, actually this is a frequency. Okay, so this is frequency is equal to 2 times 10 power 13. Okay, and then the V is given 3 times 10 power 8. So the question asking us to find out what is the wavelength, so it's lambda. Okay, so we can, firstly we're using the formula, okay, speed formula, we rearrange. So the wavelength will be V over F. So we just substitute the value, okay, given by the question. So this will be the first mark, okay, and then we press our calculator. We get the answer is 1.5 times 10 power negative 5. Okay, so this is a mark number 2. Okay. So is question section A number. Okay, so it's regarding the decision making question. Okay, so let us see what is the question asked. Okay, so you can do together with me here. Okay, and show your answer at comment. Okay, comment chat room. Okay, so the question asks us, diagram 7 shows an athlete, okay, in hammer throw is rotating the hammer in circle before releasing it. Okay, so the linear speed is given, okay, 20 meter per second. Okay, however, for this question, no any calculation will ask, okay, from this question. So A, state the centripetal force. Okay, so very good. We check together whether your answer is correct. Okay, debate. Okay, so state the type of the force that acting towards the circle. Okay, so this is a question A. Okay, so from here you can see the force needed by a body of mass m. So this figure. Okay, so for question, the m here will be hammer. Okay, so to keep in a circular motion, okay, it's circular motion at the distance r. Okay, so if I say compared to the diagram, r equal to 1.8 meter. Okay, so from the center of the side of the circle with velocity v, so this is called centripetal force. Okay, so this is actually the definition. So Divesh, you are correct. Okay, so okay, so this you are correct. Okay, so the second question asks, state the direction of hammer after releasing. Okay, so you can look at the figure, this figure. Okay, I put a star here. Okay, so you can see the string is snap. So what is, yes, okay, so what is the direction, okay, for the hammer lah? Okay, if I say, okay, the hammer, okay, so you can see number 2, the optics. Okay, number 2, the direction of the force is towards the center. So you can see that actually the force is at center. But if the rope is released, the object will continue to move along a straight line. So you can see it's A. Okay, it's a straight line. Okay, which is tangentially to the circle. Okay, so the answer is tangent to circle. Okay, so yes, you are correct. Okay, tangent to the circle. Okay, so this is the second mark. Okay, so the next question, see an athlete want to win the event. Okay, some of the technique should be done. Okay, so here the technique here, we want to see the technique. Okay, we want to see the speed, linear speed is better for higher or lower. Okay, time taken, okay, for the rotation, and the last one is the angle projection here. Okay, so based on the table, state the suitable technique. Okay, give one reason for suitability for each technique. So the first one, the question asks regarding the time. Okay, time taken for rotation of the hammer. Okay, so should be longer or shorter. Okay, so here is, okay, so this is actually regarding the theory of impulse. Okay, so impulse is a change of momentum. Okay, so as the time rotation increase, you will be get, okay, big impulse. Okay, big impulse. Okay, and the final velocity will be higher and produce a bigger momentum. Okay, so here we should choose, okay, longer, okay, rotation time. Okay, because it will produce a bigger impulse. Okay, where we discuss in the hot tips here. Okay, so the velocity also increase and bigger momentum also acceptable for the answer. Okay, so you'll get 2 marks, okay, for each one, the option for time taken and the reason. Okay, okay, so the next, okay, linear speed, so we need faster. Okay, here is high or low. Okay, we need high or low here, here. Okay, high or low. So here the tips here is also regarding the momentum. Okay, we need to choose higher speed. Okay, because higher speed will produce bigger momentum. Okay, so the answer here, higher linear speed, the reason will be produce higher momentum. Okay, and the third question, angle of projection of the hammer. Okay, which angle we should choose, 20, 90, or 45. Okay, so here is the hammer throwing movement. Okay, so firstly swing. Okay, so we have to swing longer time, right? Okay, we can make it more rotation. Okay, so that we can creating higher final speed. Okay, and the momentum will be also increase, and another one is what just now we discussed together, impulse will also increase. Okay, so for the angle, okay, we should choose 45. Okay, so that the hammer will be go to more further. Okay, okay, so we choose 45. Okay, so that the hammer can move more far or maximum horizontal distance. So that means here when we move the hammer, so this is the horizontal distance. Okay, so from here just now we need to choose the higher speed. For the time taken we take longer, and the angle projection we choose 45. So the best option here should be R. Okay, okay, so this is the discussion for section A. Okay, so we can take 5. Okay, phone call.
Okey, sebelum iklan, kami nak berehat sebentar lah. Okey, cikgu berikan dahulu kod yang ketiga dulu. Okey, nombor yang ketiga ialah 8. 8. Okey, jangan ke mana-mana. Kami akan kembali selepas ini.
Wow, banyaknya hadiah menarik menanti anda. Wah, kini Akademi YouTuber mengambil inisiatif baru di mana memberikan hadiah-hadiah ini secara percuma. Ya, percuma kepada anda semua. Bagaimana caranya? Dengan mengikuti kelas tuisyen online percuma Akademi YouTuber sambil mengutip mata kredit, anda dapat menukarkannya dengan hadiah-hadiah yang menarik ini. Tunggu apa lagi? Segalanya percuma. Jangan lepaskan peluang tau. Dah dapat banyak hadiah menarik, takkan nak lepaskan peluang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com sekarang untuk maklumat lanjut.
Okey, welcome back. Okey, kami teruskan bersama dengan Mr. P dengan yang soalan section B punya. Okey, dipersilakan.
Okay, so thank you, Phone call. Okay, okay, so we left another 2 questions. Okay, one question from section B and another one in section C. Okay, Okay, so this question is also from Sarawak, okay? So Sarawak Trial SPM 2021, okay? I take from section B, question number 9. Okay, so this is a question regarding chapter 4, heat, okay? So let us go through the question together first, okay? Diagram 9.1 show a metal can, okay? Metal can filled with hot water at temperature of 70 degrees Celsius, okay? So here, 70 degrees Celsius is immersed in a polystyrene cup filled with the cold water. So here the water is 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, so after a while, the two liquid reach thermal equilibrium. Okay, so what is the meaning of thermal equilibrium? Okay, so for this, you can see straight away I give the answer here is net rate heat transfer between two objects in thermal contact becomes zero and same final temperature. So what is the thermal contact here? And what means by net rate of heat transfer is zero? Okay, so the keyword here, okay, we discuss together here. Okay, so you can see the beginning, okay, for this object P and Q, okay. So P is initially is 100 and Q is 0. Okay, so you can see the arrow, red arrow, okay, showing that the heat is transferred from higher object to colder object. The thermal contact here, that means, okay, so two objects are in thermal contact when heat energy can be transferred between them. So how they can transfer? Both of the surface must be touching to each other. Okay, if I say the two object P and Q is not touched to each other, the heat transfer is unable to occur. So that means there is no thermal contact. Okay, so here P can be the metal can. Okay, because the metal can here got a higher temperature which is 70, and the Q can be represented as the polystyrene cup, right? Okay, it's lower temperature. Okay, so the heat will be transferred from hotter object, okay, to colder object. So that means the energy transfer will be faster, at faster rate, okay, from hotter object, which is P, and in this diagram will be 9.1 will be metal can transfer the heat energy to polystyrene cup, which is representing the colder object. Okay, so finally you can see both P and Q achieve same temperature. Okay, so that means the hot object, which is P, or at this example, okay, diagram number 1 will be metal can will be reduce the temperature, while for the Q, colder object, or here is representing as polystyrene cup, which has 5 degrees Celsius, okay, will become warmer. Okay, so the temperature of P and Q will become the same. So that means in this situation, at the diagram 9.1, the metal can and the polystyrene cup both will be achieve the same temperature. Okay, definitely the metal can will be achieve the temperature lower than 70, while the polystyrene cup, the final temperature will be higher. Okay, for this example, final temperature for P and Q is 50. Okay, so when the temperature for both object is already the same, so there will be no net heat transfer between them. So that means the heat from P to Q, heat flow, okay, and the heat flow from Q to P is the same. Okay, so that's why we say that the net rate of heat transfer, okay, become 0, and the final temperature for both object will be same. Okay, so this is a keyword you must write in your answer. Okay, okay, so the next, okay, so we can say that both object is achieve thermal equilibrium lah. Okay, so this is the theory here. Okay, so the second, explain how thermal equilibrium is achieved between the two liquid. Okay, so just now I already explained by using the example P and Q object. Okay, So initially, what we need to write at, is the heat contents of hot water. Okay, P will be it will be the hot water. Okay, and then the Q will be the cold water. So heat contents hot water is higher compared to cold water. Okay, the second you have to explain. Okay, the heat energy is transferred from the hotter object, okay, to colder object, or you can write as heat from hotter water is absorbed to colder water. Okay, so 4 marks here you have to mention at least 4 points. Okay, so the next one, the hotter water cool down while the colder water warm up. Okay, or you can mention, uh temperature, okay, of the hot water, okay, will be reduced, okay, while the temperature of the cold water will be increased. Finally, they will achieve the same temperature. Okay, so you can see the net rate of heat flow between two objects are same, okay, or you can mention they have the same temperature. So for the example here, it will be 50 lah. Okay, so this is the discussion about the how we can achieve the thermal equilibrium lah. Okay. Okay, so the next question will be uh 10 marks question. Okay, so diagram 9.2 shows the solar water heater. So here is a solar water heater. Okay, so the solar water heater is required to install on the roof, okay, of the hotel to heat the water in the water storage tank. Okay, so this is using a solar energy. Okay, so table 9 show the, okay, here is a table 9 showing the specification of 4 solar water heater design, J, K, L, and M. So normally 4 clear criteria will be given. Okay, so you have to choose which, for the first one, example here, okay, so material of the pipe. Okay, so the pipe system is here. So what material you have to choose? Okay, here we got 2 options, okay, which is the aluminum and the copper. Okay, so which we need to choose? So actually we need to choose copper, okay, because the copper that has the lower specific capacity. So that means the temperature can be rises, okay, faster. Okay, so we will choose the copper, okay, for the first one. So the second one, okay, what is the cover we have to use? Okay, so the cover, okay, cover is here. Okay, we need to choose plastic or glass. So we have to choose glass lah, okay, because glass can trap the heat. Okay, so make sure the heat will be always inside, okay, inside the container, okay, or always inside the storage tank. Okay, so and then the type of the absorber panel. Okay, so the absorber panel referring to the solar cell lah. Okay, so the solar cell, the mainly function is try to change the light energy, okay, to heat energy. So that means the body need to absorb the heat energy. So the shiny surface will be reflect the heat, okay, and the black surface will be absorb the heat. So we'll choose the black surface. Okay, and the last one, the size of the embedded pipe. So the pipe should be longer or shorter. So should be longer lah, like our small intestine. Okay, the small intestine, the length is, okay, very long, right? Because you want to increase the digestion rate. Okay, so here also the same. So as the route, okay, for the water flowing through the pipe is taking longer time, so that means there will be more longer time to absorb the heat. Okay, so we'll choose the longer. So we are very sure that, okay, the best option here will be K. Okay, so the explanation is encouraged, okay, is right in the table form. So the first, as mentioned, we'll choose the copper. Okay, so because it has a low specific capacity, so that the heat can be increased in shorter time. Okay, or you can mention it is a good heat conductor. Okay, then the second, the cover, we choose glass. Okay, because the glass can trap heat, okay, maintain the heat contents, okay, in the storage tank. And the next will be the type of the absorber. Must be black color, right? Okay, so that it can absorb, okay, absorb the heat. Okay, the last one is the size of the indented pipe. So the pipe must be longer. Okay, so absorb heat faster, and another one is the surface area will be bigger. Okay, so the best option, as mentioned, is K. Okay, then we write out again for selected criteria. Okay, so you will get full mark here. Okay, so this is the discussion for the decision making. Okay, 10 marks question. Okay, so the next one is the calculation. Okay, so you can read the question together with me here. So diagram 9.3 shows a heating curve. Okay, so this is a heating curve. Okay, for solid X, mass given is 0.8 kg. So the solid is heated with an immersion heater with 50 watts. Okay, so what is 50 watts? So you can see the watts representing the quantity physics for power. So power is 50 watts. Okay, so the first, what is the meanings of the, so what is the melting point of X? Okay, so melting point referring to the point where the substance started to become liquid. Okay, so you can see the graph, okay, here. So I circle already. So this is the 75 lah. Okay, so the 10 degrees Celsius, the substance X is still in solid state. Okay, and when reach the T equal to 4 minutes, okay, so it started to melt. When reach here, okay, I put the star here, so the X is already completely changed to liquid. Okay, and you can see the temperature is increased until 125. Okay, so the 125 here is actually representing the boiling point for X. Okay, so the condition where T equal to 12 minutes, okay, so the object X is started to become gas lah. Okay, so this is what you can see in the graph. Okay, so the next, calculate the specific capacity of X. Okay, so specific capacity, so what is the we want to see? So specific capacity, we want to see the place where the temperature is changed here. Okay, so since the object started with the solid, so the changes for the calculation you need to do is at this situation. Okay, from 0 to 4 minutes. Okay, it's here. Okay, so question given that the power is equal to 50, the mass equal to 0.8. Okay, and then the time taken at this situation is T equal to 4 minutes. Make sure your all substitution value is in SI unit. Okay, we change it to second. Okay, by multiply 60. Then the formula we're using is PT equal to MC data. Okay, P is equal to power, T equal to time taken, which is 240. Okay, and then we substitute all others value, M equal to 0.8, and the data here you can see the initial temperature is 10, the final temperature, okay, is 75 for the changes temperature at from solid to liquid here. Okay, so we rearrange the formula we get. Okay, C equal to 308 times 10 power 2. Okay, so this is the 2 marks you will get. Okay, the question C1 1 mark. Okay, the C2 will be another 2 marks here. Substitution and the correct answer. Okay, with units. Okay, so question number 3, determine the value of T. So the T is here. Okay, so if the specific latent heat, okay, of fusion for X is 3.4 times 10 power 4. Okay, so what is specific latent heat? Okay, so specific latent heat representing the area where the temperature will always the same. So you can see the temperature always the same is at T time taken at the minute 4 to T and also 12 to 18. Okay, and the fusion representing, okay, the situation where the solid change to liquid. So that means we'll be at this area already. Okay, so the formula we're using is PT equal to ml. Okay, we substitute P equal to 50, time taken, okay, T minus 4, okay, because the value T is greater than 4, so we're using T minus 4. You say you put 4 minus T, you cannot get the correct answer already. Okay, okay, so we substitute M equal to 0.8 and the L substitute with 3.4 times 10 power 4. So we rearrange all the value, we get T equal to 548 seconds. Okay, so or in minutes, okay, you divide by 60, you will get 9.13 minutes. Okay, so you will get another 2 marks here. Okay, okay, so we go to our last question. Okay, today's, okay, so question at section C. Okay, so it's mainly regarding the question conception and modification.
Okey,
Okay,
ganggu
so
sekejap Mr. P.
yeah, okay,
Untuk bagi kod yang keempat.
boleh.
Okey, belajar yang kod keempat untuk hari ini adalah 4. That's a 4. Okay, so dipersilakan Mr. P.
Okay, thank you, Bangkok. Okay, so okay, section C will ask you regarding the question conception, which is same as the question at section A, question number 5 and 6. Okay, so you can just observe the diagram. Okay, it will help you to get the full mark. Okay, and the other one is multiplication question. Okay, okay, so here is the question from chapter 6. Okay, section 6.6, image formation by spherical mirrors. Okay, diagram 11.1 and 11.2, okay, is here. Show light ray from 2 identical objects reflected by 2 convex mirrors. So the convex mirror is here. You can see at the diagram. Okay, X and Y. So both mirror produce visual image. Okay, so the image is visual, you see, is opposite side of the object. Okay, is visual. Okay, so F is representing as the focal length. Okay, so distance, yes. Okay, so DH, okay, already answered the definition. Okay, the distance between focal point and the center of mirror. Okay, so very good. Okay, is acceptable answer. Okay, so okay, let me finish the question first. Okay, read the question first. Okay, F is focal length and C is the center curvature of each mirror. Okay, so normally C will be 2F lah, 2 times focal length. Okay, okay, so what is the meaning of the focal length? Okay, you can see the box, yellow box here is the focal length. Okay, so the first point here is the focal point, another one is pool of mirror. So the center of mirror, I think, is also accepted. Okay, so the distance between focal point and pool of mirror, so it will be the first mark definition. Okay, so the second, okay, so we go to the question regarding the conception. Okay, ask you to compare 2 diagram or 2 object. Okay, so here we have to read the question carefully. Okay, is it compare diagram or compare object? Okay, okay, so based on the diagram 11.1 and 11.2, so it's these 2 diagram. Okay, so compare the focal length, degree of curvature of mirror, and the height of the image produced by mirror X and Y. Okay, so that means you can see, so the comparison here is X and Y. Okay, so but I think if let's say you mention 11.1, 11.2 still accepted because the 11.1 only got trimming X, mirror X, right? So I think it's also accepted lah, huh? Okay, but the correct one is mentioned comparison between X and Y actually. Okay, so firstly, it's 3 marks, so that means got 3 points in this sentence. Okay, so firstly, compare the focal length. Okay, so you can see very clear that, okay, so the diagram 11.1, the focal length is greater than 11.2. If I say you can differentiate, you can use your ruler and measure, okay? So you will get the answer also, okay? So the first one, focal length of mirror X is, greater than, sorry, here I wrong already, greater than. Correct what I put, okay, I correct actually because I mentioned Y, right? So yeah, my answer is correct. Okay, so Y is smaller than X, or you can mention X greater than Y, also correct. Okay, so the second, ask you compare the degree or curvature of the mirror. So that means the curve. Okay, you can see 11.2 or X. Wait, actually this one is Y. Okay, this is Y. So this is X. Okay, this is Y. 11.2 representing mirror Y. Okay, so from here you can see Y is actually more curvier.
Mr. P ada gangguan talian nampaknya cikgu kok.
Ya, Mr. P gangguan internet lagi. Okey, kami teruskan dengan apa yang share Mr. P itulah. Okey, belajar boleh tengok diagram tu. Yang diagram ada dua biasa adalah comparison punya soalan. Okey, anda boleh tengok apa yang berbeza sebelum anda nak jawab soalan. So from here you see the diagram. First one, kami yang tengok yang besar-besar tu ialah dia punya convex, dia punya mirror tu. Satu mirror X, satu mirror Y. Dia punya shape memang satu lebih curve, satu kurang. Tadi itu soalan lah. So yang ini ialah soalan yang untuk comparison. Biasanya dia akan bagi 3 comparison. Lepas tu mesti ada 2 relationship. Okay, dia tanya hubungan. So yang berbeza pada gambar tersebut dulu. Okay, sendiri kena cari dulu sebelum nak tengok soalan dia. So anda lebih faham soalan tersebut, baru anda senang untuk jawabkan soalan. Okay, inilah soalan yang compare. Biasanya kat section C adalah, lepas tu section A pun ada. Kalau tak silap saya soalan 5 dan 6, iaitu soalan 9 markah punya. Dia ada 2 soalan adalah berkaitan dengan comparison. Okey, ini ialah soalan teknik format-format untuk yang KSSM yang baru punya lah. So sebelum tu Mr. P pun ada introduction tentang soalan, macam mana markah dia sampai paling kecil sampai paling banyak markah kan. Okey, yang ini section C punya soalan adalah soalan yang tak ada berpandu punya lah. Dia essay punya bahagian dia hanya bagi gambar. Lepas tu mungkin gambar dia ada label-label. Lepas tu belajar kena modify. Dia bagi modify ke atau design ke. Belajar kena dari gambar tapakkan aspek. Lepas tu belajar kena terang. Kalau belajar nasib baik dia ada tunjuk aspek kat bawah, baguslah. Okey, sekurang-kurangnya belajar kena terangkan 5 aspek. Sebab dia tak ada pilihan. Banyak pelajar tak faham. Dia rasa soalan 9 dan 10 tu kena pilih. Soalan 11 dia juga kena pilih. Sebenarnya tak payah pilih. Yang itu soalan last punya belajar hanya teruskan dengan aspek lah. Aspek yang ada punya. Lepas tu belajar tak payah kata the best is what, tak payah. Hanya terang 5 aspek dengan penerangan dan itu adalah 10 markah. Okay? So rasa Mr. P belum masuk lagi. Cikgu mat.
Okey, Mr. P masih belum masuk lagi. Okey, macam Cikgu Kok bagi tahu tadi, untuk pelajar kena tahu betul-betul format untuk kertas 2 ini macam mana. Yang penting cara yang jawab itu. Fizik ni jawapan dia tak perlu panjang, betul kan Cikgu Kok? Tak perlu tulis macam karangan. So you go straight to the point, jawab apa yang diminta dan apa konsep yang dikehendaki. Okay, saya cuba kongsilah slide Cikgu P kalau
boleh,
dapat
boleh.
Okey, sekejap. Okey, tadi Mr. P bincang soalan perbandingan
Last
untuk
kan?
last slide kan. Okay, saya cuba buka. Kita ada mirror di sana dan dia minta kita compare 3 ciri lah. Okey, so kalau pelajar tengok, boleh nampak skrin saya buka satu
boleh,
lagi
boleh.
sebab ni dia agak kecil sedikit.
Okey, yang 2 cermin ni.
Okay, mungkin pelajar yang boleh respon pada chat bagaimana anda banding tadi, how do you compare? First one is the focal length, right? And second is the curvature. Then number 3 is the height of image, yang ini. Okay, boleh nampak slide saya Cikgu Kok?
Boleh, boleh.
Okay, yang ini saya besarkan lagi sedikit. Okay, so nombor A tadi telah dijawab apa maksud panjang fokus, what is the meaning of focal length, distance between the focal point and the center of the mirror. Okay, yang ini tadi kita bandingkan panjang fokus.
Panjang fokus untuk cermin X dan cermin Y.
Okay, so panjang fokus tadi anda boleh lihat pada gambar. So cermin X panjang fokus dia lebih besar ataupun lebih panjang. So boleh tuliskan yang ini essay kan, so dia kena mention dia punya parameter di depan. So you must mention the parameter focal length of 11.1 or mirror X is greater than 11.2 or mirror Y.
Cikgu nak share satu. Kalau pelajar bahagian ini dia tersilap, dia tak tulis kat foolscape paper, dia tulis kat dalam soalan ni kerana dia ingat ada space kan. Dia tulis kat sana kan. Masih boleh terima tak?
Kalau ikut format sebenar, dia kena jawab dalam kertas jawapan yang diberikan kan. Jadi saya takut kalau marker itu straight, dia takkan terima sebab dia cuma akan tanda apa yang ada pada kertas jawapan fullscape paper itu saja.
Betul, banyak belajar tersilap tau. Dia tulis kat dalam, lepas tu dia terus hantar. So ingin belajar kena ingat tau, jangan tulis kat dalam untuk section B dan section C.
Ya, betul.
Ini penting lah.
So untuk section A, tuliskan di ruangan yang disediakan pada kertas soalan sebab dia ada sediakan space. Kalau tak cukup, tak ada masalah, boleh sambung lepas garisan tu. Tapi untuk section B and C, so you have to remember kena jawab dalam kertas jawapan bertulis yang diberikan. Okay, so bagus it's a good reminder Cikgu Kok. Okay, so kita tengok tadi focal length, so 11.2 in 11.1 longer or greater. Ataupun cermin X, panjang fokus dia lebih daripada cermin Y. Okey, kemudian yang kedua dia nak kita bandingkan degree of curvature, darjah kelengkungan. So anda boleh lihatlah dengan jelas di sini cermin ini tadi cermin Y Okay, cermin Y ini dia lebih melengkung. It is more curvature. So kita boleh katakan degree of curvature mirror Y is higher. Boleh tulis higher ataupun greater ataupun more curve. Bolehlah diterima. Okay, kemudian yang ketiga dia nak kita bandingkan ketinggian image, height of image produced. So student tengok saja daripada gambar, kita boleh tengoklah image ini dia lebih tinggi. Cermin Y ini dia lebih rendah. So we can say image in 11.1 is higher. Okay, height of image higher ataupun greater than 11.2 ataupun height of image X greater than mirror Y. Okay, boleh pelajar untuk yang ini. So setiap satu itu dia membawa satu markah. And kita selalu advise pelajar you kena answer separately. Untuk setiap perbandingan itu kita tuliskan berasingan. Jangan kita kata, kadang-kadang Cikgu Kok ada yang dia combine semua. Focal length, degree of curvature and height of image X greater than Y. So rugilah. dia mungkin boleh bagi maksimum 1 markah saja dekat sana. Itu pun kalau betul kan. So this is the point you have to highlight and remember. Every time you must write your comparison separately. Kena asingkan setiap perbandingan. Tulis dengan jelas. Mana yang lebih
Kalau dia
tinggi.
tulis point form pun boleh terima kan?
Point form tak ada masalah. Kita boleh
Lagi
tulis.
jelas kan?
Yes, you nak tulis point form ke, nak bulat ke, nak tulis dash ke, nak tulis nombor 1, 2, 3, no problem. Tak ada masalah. Okay, kemudian next question yang ini Cikgu Kok, dia minta kita buat relationship. Relationship. Selalunya relationship ini 2 markah. You kena bandingkan. So pelajar boleh tengoklah daripada apa yang kita tulis tadi. So relate the degree of curvature to the focal length. So anda boleh lihat tadi bila panjang fokus dia pendek, dia punya curvature itu lebih tinggi. So kita boleh tuliskan the focal length, boleh guna increases. The focal length increases, curvature itu increases ataupun vice versa. Kalau yang ini kan boleh, pelajar biasa tanya juga, boleh tak guna directly proportional, inversely proportional? Macam mana tu Cikgu Kok?
I rasa yang ini bukan setiap tahun dia skema tepat tau. Ada tahun dia terima, ada tahun dia tak terima. So biasa galak belajar you nak tulis directly proportional atau inversely boleh, tapi depan belakang kena ada benda.
Yes. Lagi satu
hanya direct saja.
Means dia tak, jawapan tu dia tak selamat lah, kita boleh katakan tak selamat. Lagipun satu direction proportional, inversely proportional, kita biasa guna relationship untuk kertas 3, betul kan?
Betul. Ada graf punya kami
ada graf, yes, itu adalah lebih tepat. Jadi kita recommend pelajar di sini gunakan increase, semakin bertambah ataupun semakin bertambah semakin berkurang. Apa?
Selamat sikit lah.
Itu lebih, kita kata kita play safe lah, lebih selamat untuk pelajar. Kalau tak, kita sayanglah sini pun actually kita boleh kutip markah penuh 5 markah dekat sini kan. Okay, lepas tu yang ini deduce the relationship between height of image and focal length. Deduksikan hubung kait, buat hubung kait. So kita boleh katakan tadi apabila size image bertambah, samalah then kelengkungan tu berkurang. Ataupun apabila kelengkungan bertambah, tengok sini kan, kelengkungan bertambah, size image berkurang. Okay, when the degree of curvature increases, height of image decreases. Okay, jelas pelajar-pelajar semua? Okay, ada masa lagi tak Cikgu Kok untuk kita teruskan? Kemudian yang ini dia bagi satu soalan.
Kami dah kurang 3.12
minit Mr. Kok belum tak dapat masuk lagi Mr. P. Terus hilang dari radar ni. So kita nak teruskan macam mana tu? Yang ini kita tengok soalan C. Apakah namakan alat optik yang menggunakan satu kanta cembung untuk menghasilkan imej yang diperbesarkan supaya tulisan yang kecil dapat dilihat dengan jelas? Dia minta you mention satu, one optical devices use convex lens. Ini sebenarnya clue dia. Convex lens produce magnified image. So small font can be seen clearly. So pelajar boleh guess tak? Boleh teka tak alat apa yang kita cari dekat sini? Dia minta you name one device. Namakan satu alat optik. So biasanya kita gunakan kanta pembesar. Betul Oh Mr. P dah ada dah dekat bawah. Okay. Hello Mr. P. Okay, welcome back. Okay,
kami soalan
boleh continue dengan C. Soalan C Okay, saya stop sharing. Mr. P boleh share semula lah. Okay, teruskan.
C.
Bahagian C.
Last question kan?
Last question punya C.
Okay, this one.
No. Lagi.
Oh, lagi satu.
Lagi belakang section ni.
Before
atas lagi kan? Satu lagi. Ni D, atas lagi.
Okay, so is it I share this one?
C. Question C. Magnifying glass optical device.
This one.
Bukan. Yang question tadi cuma tadi itu D kan? Yang atas dia. This one, yes. Betul.
This one, correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Dia ada gambar. Okay, boleh.
So name the optical device the question asks us to name the optical device which uses convex lens to produce magnified image so that the small front can be seen clearly. Okay, hence draw a ray diagram to show the working principle. Okay, so the first one, the question asks you to name the device. Okay, so the device here will be magnifying glass, or you can mention as simple microscope. Okay, so the next one you'll be using convex lens. Okay, convex lens. Okay, to produce a magnified image. Okay, so here, okay, so we will choose the position where it's placed. Okay, less than focal length. Okay, focal length. So firstly, convex lens, and you have to place your object in front of the lens and less than focal length. Okay, so the first ray is the green color one, pass through the focal length behind the convex lens. The second, you pass through the center of the lens, and you join the both line together, you get your image. Okay, so the first mark will be given for the names of the magnifying glass. Okay, the name will be the green color light pass through the focal length, and another one is the red color light, and last one is the object. Sorry, image. So here is image, and this is the object. Okay, so the last question here. Okay, so the diagram 11.3. Okay, show a solar cooker being used to heat up the water. Okay, so this is the concept here. So you are required to modify the design of the solar cooker and the characteristic of the pots used so that it heats water more efficient. State and explain the suggestion. Okay, so the first can discuss about the solar thermal reflector. Okay, so we can try to this area. Okay, for this mirror, concave mirror, so you can see the shape is actually like this. Okay, so the light will be reflected inside. So this is the concave mirror. Okay, so we increase the surface area so that it can reflect more light. Okay, and the next one, you have to discuss the characteristic of the pot. Okay, so first, place at the focal point. Okay, so all the light will be converged at this point so that it can receive more heat. Okay, and the next one will be the lids must be tight, closed tightly. Okay, so that there will be reduce the heat loss through surrounding. Okay, through the surrounding. Okay, via convection. The next one, the base must be dark color. Okay, so that it can absorb more heat. Okay, and the last one is the pot body. Okay, must have more specific capacity. Okay, so that temperature can decrease in shorter time and more easily. Okay, so you are encouraged again, write your answer in the table. Okay, table form. The first one, the shape must be bigger. Okay, given more surface area to reflect more light. Okay, and the pot, okay, must be placed at the focal point. Okay, so that more heat can be conveyed at the point and heat up the water. Okay, and the lid of the pot must be tight so that it can reduce the heat loss to surrounding due to the convection. And the base of the pot must be dark. Okay, so it can absorb more heat. And the last one, the specific capacity of the body. Pot's body must be smaller. It can rise the temperature in shorter time. Okay, so thank you. Okay, so this is my sharing today. Okay, so I pass to Puan Kok. Okay.
Okay, terima kasih kepada Mr. Peh. Okay, tahniah dan terima kasih diucapkan kepada semua yang setia mengikutkan kelas pada petang ini. Okay, sebelum kita nak tamatkan sesi siaran langsung ni, mohonkan tutup ruangan chat, klik butang subscribe dan juga aktifkan ikon loceng supaya kamu tidak terlepas sesi kelas Mr. P yang seterusnya. Okey, sila klik like dan juga share link kelas kita hari ini kepada rakan-rakan di media sosial anda. Okey, jangan lupa ikutkan kelas-kelas fizik seterusnya pada setiap hari Jumaat 9.30 malam untuk tingkatan 5. Okey, dan juga Ahad yang pada masa ni pukul 2 petang. Okey, untuk tingkatan 4. Okey, layari portal kami www.academicyoutuber.com. Okey, untuk mendapatkan info yang terkini, okey, dan berkaitan dengan kelas tuisyen yang percuma AYU dan juga kongsikan kepada rakan-rakan dan juga guru di seluruh Malaysia. Okey, link sijil dan juga link rekod kredit pelajar serta username Mr. P akan diletakkan pada ruangan chat. Okey, sila ambilkan perhatian. Link tersebut akan tamat dalam tempoh 30 minit selepas live hari ini. Okey, lepas tu pastikan anda login dengan email e-didik, email MOE, email MyGuru dan juga email Javi untuk membukakan link yang berkenaan. Okey, sebelum cikgu nak tamatkan kelas pada petang ini, dipersilakan Mr. P untuk memberikan sepatah ada 2 kata. Mr. P dipersilakan.
Okay, so sorry kepada semua, saya punya line di rumah recently sangat teruk sentiasa ada masalah. So nasib baik ada cikgu Hasita dengan cikgu Ko so yang banyak cover saya. Sorry minta maaf. So harap tidak mengganggu okay, para pelajar untuk belajar. Okay, so apa soalan masih tak faham boleh tanya dalam chatting. Okay, nanti saya boleh reply. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Cikgu Hasnita.
Okey, terima kasih Cikgu Kok. Assalamualaikum, selamat petang semua. Tahniah Cikgu ucapkan kepada pelajar-pelajar yang masih lagi mengikuti kelas pada hari ini. Tahniah juga Mr. P. Biasalah tu gangguan sikit-sikit itu adalah di luar kawalan kita kan. Yang penting usaha daripada pelajar-pelajar kita itu yang kita sangat-sangat hargai. Gunakanlah apa yang dibincangkan oleh Mr. P tadi sebaiknya, terutamanya macam mana teknik, macam mana yang Cikgu Kok share juga tadi, teknik kita menjawab itu sangat penting. Okay. Dan konsep itu the first thing lah, you kena faham konsep apa yang ditanya dalam soalan. You akan boleh jawab apa juga soalan yang ditanya, tak ada masalah insyaAllah. Jadi selamat berjaya cikgu ucapkan kepada calon-calon SPM 2021. Begitu juga dengan pelajar tingkatan 4. Ambil masa, ambillah peluang untuk mengulang kaji dan prepare best for your incoming exam. Okay, so all the best to all. Itu saja Cikgu Kok.
Okey, terima kasih. Okey, kod yang terakhir pada petang ini iaitu 6. Okey, 6. Okey, terima kasih kepada semua penyokong Akademi YouTuber. Sekian daripada kami, salam hormat dan jumpa lagi. Bye.
Berita baik untuk semua. Kini Akademi YouTuber memperkenalkan sistem mata gancaran kredit AYU untuk dikumpul. Jom ikuti kelas tuisyen live AYU untuk mengumpul kredit AYU dan berpeluang menebus hadiah-hadiah yang menarik. Hadiah bernilai lebih RM10,000 disediakan secara percuma untuk pelajar seluruh Malaysia. Apa tunggu lagi? Tebus ganjaran hebat ini sekarang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com untuk maklumat lanjut.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber.